Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of RiesKitchen in our gluten-free series. It's spring here in Melbourne and that means all sorts of activities with the family outside, including football finals. So lots of barbecues, lots of picnics. And so the easiest food then to take with us is often salads. But salads can be tricky for those of us on a gluten-free diet. So that's avoiding wheat, oats, barley or rye because of the salad dressings. So here's a really easy one that you can whip up that everyone will enjoy. And today we're going to make tabouli. So let's get started with our ingredients. First up, we have a pinch of salt, some mint, this is straight out of my garden, some flat leaf parsley, or you could use curly leaf, juice of 1 lemon, olive oil, 3 to 4 spring onions, a cucumber, 2 tomatoes, half a cup of quinoa and a cup of cold water. Now let's take a look at quinoa. Quinoa is an ancient grain. It's currently called a superfood and it's a very fine, tight, small grain that has a slight husk, so we do need to rinse. So as we rinse, it's just about stirring to try and get that husk through. Now you can do this under the tap, but obviously it's a bit tricky for me to show you that. I'm going to do a rinse. You can see the water's gone a little cloudy. I just give it a good stir. Okay, so now we're just going to pop that rinsed quinoa in a saucepan. And now we add the cup of water, so it's twice as much water as we have quinoa. And we're just going to use the absorption method now and cook that on a low heat. It'll take about 10 minutes until all the water's absorbed. And so while our quinoa is cooking, we can prepare our other ingredients. So let's start with the cucumber and the tomato first. Now for both of these, what we want to do is de-seed them so that we only have the flesh going into our bowl. So to do that, just using a spoon and remove the seeds. Right, so our quinoa has come to the boil now, so I'm just going to turn down that heat just a little so it's just simmering gently. And so now I'm just going to dice up our tomato. You don't have to be too particular. Just making sure our pieces aren't too big. And now we do the same with the cucumber. So cutting up lengthwise and scooping out the majority of the seeds. Now keeping an eye on that quinoa, it looks like I've pretty much absorbed all the moisture, which I have. So then just check to make sure that it's soft, which it is, and turn it off. And now we just want that to cool. I'm going to leave the lid off and just let that cool down. And now for prepping our herbs. Now we can use a normal knife and board, but if you're lucky enough to have one of these, it'll make it much faster. These are always better though in a curved board. So we just need to pick through our leaves and just get some nice small ones. Oh, the mint just smells so fresh. Now the amount you use is up to you. And now for our parsley, so just picking over the best leaves. We don't want too much stalk. All right, so if I'm using a normal knife, we're not worried about making this super fine, but what we are trying to do is not have whole leaves. Now don't be shy with parsley, it's actually the king of this dish. So I'm looking at that chopped now and the amount of cucumber that I have and thinking I'm going to need a little bit more, but this is chopped as much as I want, so I'll throw that in. And so now for our spring onions, and these just have to be chopped finely as well. Just chop their heads off. So now I'm just going to toss that through. Look at the colours, it's fantastic. So now our quinoa will have cooled, and so we just add that into our bowl. Okay, so now I'm mixing all of that together. And now for the dressing, and this is the least exacting part of our recipe. So we're going to put a pinch of salt in, and then the lemon juice and the olive oil, I'm going to add a little bit, stir it, taste it till I get it just right. You could also, of course, add some pieces of preserved lemon. You could add some black pepper, some cumin, some allspice, something to give it a zing to make it yours. But I'm just going to keep it simple for us today. So, first up, just a pinch of salt. And then I'm going to start with about half of this lemon juice. And equal amount of oil. Give it a toss. And with all salads, the flavours develop over time. So this is fine to prepare today to eat tomorrow. So now for a taste test. Bit more lemon, I think. And a dash more oil just to help it balance through. It's looking good. Right. Now, a second spoon. That's good. Now cover it and chill, and we're ready to go. And now, as always, for the best bit, the tasting. The lemon, the parsley, they all just pop out. Just absolutely wonderful. If you're after the recipe, check out my blog listed below, and don't forget to subscribe if you're really enjoying these videos. Until next time, everybody, ciao.